The Western Surge and Gibraltar's miracle. From the deserts of fire, where Palestine lay in ruins and the oil fields burned like torches in the night, the seer's gaze was drawn back to the continent of Europe. There he saw the bear, still ravenous though wounded, driving westward with relentless fury. The southern thrust had been broken, but the Red Army did not retreat. Instead, it hurled itself against the nations of Central and Western Europe, crushing them beneath its weight. He declared, "The Russians stormed through Hungary, Yugoslavia, through Austria to Italy, then through France, en route to Spain." The first flood poured into Hungary. The plains of the Danube, once golden with harvest, were darkened by the smoke of burning villages. Bridges collapsed in fire, towns emptied in panic, families fled with bundles on their backs. The river itself ran thick with wreckage and bodies, a highway of sorrow under the shadow of the bear. From there, the tide swept into Yugoslavia. He saw its mountains echo with thunder, its valleys blazing with war. Peoples already divided by hatred were crushed alike under the invader's heel. Churches burned, towns were bombarded, and cities that had endured centuries of strife were shattered anew. Then the Red Army surged into Austria. The Alps trembled as tanks crawled up winding passes, engines roaring, convoys snaking through valleys once filled with song. Vienna, the city of emperors and music, was silenced by the boom of artillery and the cries of its conquered people. The fury pressed into Italy. He saw Rome itself, the ancient city of Caesars and popes, convulsed in fire. Cathedrals cracked, palaces fell, statues toppled. Fields were blackened, vineyards scorched, monuments of centuries reduced to rubble. The land that had crowned emperors and born saints was broken beneath the storm. And then came France. The seer saw her fields churned into mud and blood, her rivers clogged with wreckage, her capital smothered in smoke. Paris, jewel of the West, burned as aircraft darkened the skies above her. Boulevards turned into trenches, monuments collapsed into dust, and the nation groaned under the invader's tread. At last, the flood reached the Pyrenees, the mountain wall guarding Spain. Beyond lay Gibraltar, the fortress of the seas. Whoever seized it would control the gate between the Atlantic and the Mediterranean, commanding the oceans themselves. The bear stretched out its paw to take it, but here the vision turned. The seer declared, "They are stopped there." He saw the Red Army straining against the Pyrenees, battering at the mountains, but they could not break through. Spain, with American aid, stood defiant. Gibraltar shook under bombardment, the seas boiled with fleets, yet the passage did not yield. And then he spoke of a wonder. A miracle occurs with the German army, and in the Pyrenees the Red Army is completely defeated. He saw Germany, thought broken forever after its past wars, suddenly rise with strength reborn. Its army struck with precision and fury, their assault guided by providence. In the valleys of the Pyrenees, the bear was broken. The mountains echoed with the cries of the defeated. The Red Army, which had stormed so far, was destroyed in miracle. In the aftermath, Spain seized her prize. The seer said, "The Spanish attacked Gibraltar and annex it." He saw Spanish banners raised upon the fortress, the rock long coveted now theirs. The gate of the seas changed hands, and Spain, triumphant, claimed it for her own. Thus he spoke of the Western Surge. Russia storming through Hungary, Yugoslavia, Austria, Italy, and France. The push into Spain, the attempt to seize Gibraltar, the miracle of Germany's sudden strength, the Red Army crushed in the Pyrenees, and Spain taking Gibraltar. The bear, which had shaken half the world, found its fury broken against the mountains, and what seemed unstoppable was ended by miracle.